Welcome to today's video, where we uncover the 7 secret phrases that instantly persuade anyone. If you've ever found yourself struggling to get someone on your side, whether in a conversation, negotiation, or even a casual discussion, these powerful phrases can make all the difference. Imagine being able to shift someone's mindset, win them over, or influence their decisions with just a few well-chosen words. Sounds like magic, right? Well, it's not magic. It's the power of persuasion. And today, we'll break down how you can use these phrases to leave a lasting impression, build stronger relationships, and gain trust, all with a simple shift in how you communicate. These phrases are designed to put others at ease, open up communication, and show empathy, making it easier for you to connect and influence. So, if you're ready to unlock the secrets to becoming a more persuasive and confident communicator, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more insightful content, and let's dive into these 7 game-changing phrases. Stay tuned and start mastering the art of persuasion, because the right words can change everything. Number 1, I understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from is a phrase rooted deeply in the Stoic principle of empathy and self-awareness. The Stoics believed in the importance of understanding the perspectives of others, not merely to agree with them, but to acknowledge that each individual is shaped by their unique experiences. Epictetus, one of the most well-known Stoic philosophers, often spoke about the importance of recognizing that we do not know what it is like to live in someone else's shoes. He taught that understanding the context behind someone's actions or emotions is crucial in practicing virtue and patience. By saying, I understand where you're coming from, we align ourselves with this Stoic belief of acknowledging the struggles and thoughts of others, which helps us respond with compassion rather than judgment. The power of this phrase lies in its ability to disarm defensiveness. When we say, I understand where you're coming from, it creates a space for open communication. The other person is likely to feel heard, reducing the emotional charge that might accompany the conversation. This resonates with the Stoic idea that our emotions can often cloud our judgment and prevent us from truly understanding the situation at hand. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, emphasized the importance of self-control and calmness in the face of challenging situations. By showing understanding, we can maintain emotional composure, allowing us to engage more effectively and with greater clarity in our interactions with others. In Stoicism, the idea of accepting what is beyond our control is a central tenet. When we express understanding towards someone else's viewpoint, we implicitly recognize that their thoughts, feelings, and experiences are shaped by circumstances beyond our influence. This perspective allows us to detach ourselves from the need to control or change the other person's viewpoint, focusing instead on responding with virtue and wisdom. It is not our role to manipulate or sway others, but rather to engage with them in a way that fosters mutual respect and understanding. The phrase, I understand where you're coming from, allows us to practice this detachment, acknowledging the other person's feelings without feeling the need to validate or dismiss them outright. Saying, I understand where you're coming from, also speaks to the Stoic virtue of humility. It is an acknowledgement that we do not have all the answers, and that other people's perspectives may offer valuable insights. The Stoics recognized that no individual possesses absolute wisdom, and that we can all learn from each other. This openness to others' viewpoints is crucial for personal growth. When we genuinely understand where someone is coming from, we demonstrate that we are willing to listen and learn. This humility in conversation fosters an environment where both parties can engage in a meaningful exchange rather than one attempting to dominate the other. It reflects a belief in the shared humanity of all individuals and in the potential for growth through dialogue. This phrase encourages a mindset of peace and harmony, which aligns with the Stoic ideal of living in accordance with nature. When we acknowledge another's feelings and experiences, we contribute to a more peaceful and cooperative environment. Stoic philosophy teaches that external circumstances cannot disturb our peace unless we allow them to. By expressing understanding, we create a buffer between ourselves and potential conflict, allowing us to maintain inner calm. The phrase, "I understand where you're coming from," becomes a tool for fostering positive interactions and reducing the potential for discord. It aligns with the Stoic belief in focusing on what we can control, our responses, and letting go of the need to influence or control others. Number 2. What can I learn from this? What can I learn from this is a phrase that embodies the Stoic principle of using every situation, no matter how challenging, as an opportunity for personal growth. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, often reflected on the idea that life's obstacles are not burdens, but chances for improvement. The Stoics believed that it is not the events themselves that determine our happiness or fulfillment, but our response to those events. By asking ourselves, "What can I learn from this?" we shift our focus from frustration or adversity to curiosity and self-improvement. It encourages a mindset that views every difficulty as a lesson in virtue, resilience, or wisdom, turning potential setbacks into stepping stones for development. The act of asking this question cultivates a sense of emotional detachment, which is central to Stoic thought. When faced with an unfavorable situation, our natural instinct may be to react emotionally, whether through anger, fear, or frustration. However, the Stoics emphasized that we should not be ruled by our emotions, but instead should focus on what is within our control, our thoughts and reactions. By pausing to ask, "What can I learn from this?" we allow ourselves the space to detach from the emotional turmoil and instead approach the situation with a clear, analytical mind. This detachment does not mean we suppress our emotions, but rather that we choose not to let them govern our actions. It is a deliberate and conscious effort to turn any experience, whether positive or negative, into an opportunity for personal growth. In addition to promoting emotional control, the phrase, "What can I learn from this?" fosters a growth mindset. The Stoics believed that true wisdom comes not from avoiding challenges, but from confronting them with patience and clarity. By actively seeking to learn from every experience, we embrace the idea that we are always evolving. This approach fosters resilience, as it shifts the narrative from seeing failure or adversity as something to be feared to something that can help us become better individuals. It is a constant reminder that life is a process, not a final destination, and that we are always capable of growth. The willingness to learn from each experience is a hallmark of a Stoic life, one that is continually striving for improvement in thought, action, and character. This mindset also encourages us to take responsibility for our own development. Rather than blaming external circumstances or other people for our difficulties, the phrase invites us to look inward and ask how we can grow from the experience. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, frequently wrote about the importance of personal responsibility and the idea that we are the architects of our own fate. By adopting the question, "What can I learn from this?" we place the power of growth back into our own hands, acknowledging that, while we cannot control external events, we can always choose how to respond and what to learn from them. This empowers us to take ownership of our journey and cultivate the virtues of wisdom, courage, and fortitude in the face of adversity. The question, "What can I learn from this?" connects us to the Stoic belief in living in accordance with nature and understanding the transient nature of life. The Stoics recognized that life is fleeting and that we cannot predict or control every outcome. However, by focusing on the lessons each moment offers, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life, accepting its impermanence and its challenges. The question helps us to view the inevitable difficulties of life not as interruptions, but as integral parts of the human experience, each offering an opportunity to better understand ourselves and the world around us. By embracing this perspective, we can cultivate a deeper sense of peace, knowing that every experience, whether joyful or painful, contributes to our ongoing journey of growth. Number 3. What do you think? What do you think is a phrase that exemplifies the Stoic practice of valuing the perspectives and wisdom of others. In Stoicism, the idea of communal living and shared understanding is essential. The Stoics recognized that no one possesses complete wisdom on their own, and that to grow, one must engage with others and seek to learn from their experiences. This question is more than just an invitation for input. It's a conscious act of acknowledging the value in another person's thoughts, opinions, and experiences. It communicates humility by signaling that we do not have all the answers and that we are open to being influenced and enriched by the perspectives of those around us. The act of asking, "What do you think?" fosters a sense of collaboration and respect, which is in alignment with the Stoic virtue of justice. Justice, for the Stoics, is not just about fairness in the traditional sense, but also about recognizing the inherent dignity and value of others. By asking someone for their opinion, we place importance on their viewpoint, showing respect for their autonomy and intelligence. This also encourages dialogue and mutual respect, helping to bridge differences and create an environment where all parties feel heard and valued. It reduces the tendency to dominate or control a conversation, which the Stoics saw as an obstacle to peaceful and productive living. In addition, "What do you think?" reflects the Stoic practice of self-reflection. The Stoics believed that we must constantly evaluate and examine our own beliefs, actions, and judgments. Asking for input from others allows us to step outside our own thought process and consider alternative perspectives. It forces us to challenge our assumptions and expand our understanding, ensuring that we are not trapped in the echo chamber of our own mind. This is particularly important in Stoicism, where one's personal development and growth are prioritized. The question invites constructive criticism, insight, and potential corrections, all of which contribute to a more rounded and accurate understanding of the world. This phrase also echoes the Stoic commitment to emotional control and rationality. In the heat of disagreement or emotional situations, it's easy to get caught up in the desire to be right or to defend our position. However, the Stoics taught that our emotions, particularly those linked to pride and ego, often lead us astray. By asking, "What do you think?" we move away from the desire to win an argument or prove our own point. Instead, we open ourselves up to reason, fostering an environment in which both parties can engage in a rational, thoughtful exchange. This practice ensures that decisions are made based on sound judgment and understanding, rather than impulsive reactions or unchecked emotions. "What do you think?" is a reminder of the Stoic value of community and interconnectedness. The Stoics were keenly aware of the importance of living harmoniously with others, understanding that we are all part of a greater whole. By engaging others in meaningful conversation and showing genuine interest in their thoughts, we strengthen the bonds of that greater community. We recognize that the individual is not an isolated entity, but is part of a collective existence where the well-being of one contributes to the well-being of all. This question reinforces the Stoic belief that we are all interconnected and that our personal development is intertwined with the growth and wisdom of others. Through open dialogue and the exchange of ideas, we enrich ourselves and contribute to the collective wisdom of the community. Number 4. "I can see why you'd feel that way." "I can see why you'd feel that way" is a phrase that embodies the Stoic practice of empathy and understanding. It reflects the Stoic idea that we must always seek to comprehend the emotions and thoughts of others, not to judge or criticize, but to connect and build relationships. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, frequently wrote about the importance of recognizing that everyone has their own perspective, shaped by unique circumstances and experiences. He suggested that instead of hastily dismissing or contradicting someone's emotions, we should pause and consider why they feel the way they do. By acknowledging their feelings with a phrase like, "I can see why you'd feel that way," we not only show empathy, but also open the door to deeper communication and connection. This phrase allows us to remove ourselves from the judgmental tendency that is so natural in human interactions. It acknowledges that emotions, even when they are not fully understood, are valid. Often, when we are confronted with someone's emotional outburst or frustration, our instinct is to immediately react with our own judgments or try to rationalize the situation. However, the Stoics taught that to achieve tranquility, we must practice emotional discipline, not just for ourselves, but in how we respond to others. When we say, "I can see why you'd feel that way," we are choosing to respond with composure, recognizing that the other person's feelings are based on their own worldview, and it is not our role to invalidate that. In the Stoic framework, emotional control and rationality are key. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, believed that it is not the external world or the actions of others that disturb us, but our thoughts about them. When we hear someone express anger, frustration, or sadness, it can trigger a similar emotional reaction in us. However, if we embrace the Stoic practice of detaching our emotions from the situation, we can respond with more understanding. By saying, "I can see why you'd feel that way," we allow ourselves to step back from the emotional pull and instead respond with clarity. This doesn't mean we necessarily agree with the other person's perspective, but we acknowledge their right to feel how they do, which diffuses any potential tension and keeps the conversation grounded in respect. This phrase also reflects a fundamental Stoic understanding of human nature. The Stoics believed that each individual's actions and emotions are a result of their personal experiences, thoughts, and circumstances. To be human is to face challenges, doubts, and struggles that shape how we react to the world. By using a phrase like, "I can see why you'd feel that way," we show that we recognize the complexity of another person's emotional state and that we understand they are responding to the world from their own unique position. The Stoics saw this as a way to practice humility, recognizing that our viewpoint is just one of many, and others may be reacting to life's challenges in ways that are difficult for us to understand at first glance. Moreover, saying, "I can see why you'd feel that way," aligns with the Stoic virtue of compassion, which is integral to how the Stoics believed we should engage with others. Compassion in Stoicism is not about pity or sympathy, but about understanding and support. It is a recognition that, like us, others are doing the best they can given their circumstances. This phrase fosters a sense of unity, encouraging a compassionate response that helps build trust and emotional connection. By taking the time to genuinely understand why someone feels a certain way, we show that we are not only listening to their words, but also trying to connect with their emotional experience. This approach leads to more meaningful, respectful interactions and promotes emotional resilience in the face of conflict. Number 5. I appreciate your point of view. "I appreciate your point of view" is a phrase that aligns closely with the Stoic practice of respect, understanding, and humility. The Stoics emphasize the importance of recognizing that each person's perspective is shaped by their unique experiences, circumstances, and emotions. By acknowledging another person's point of view, we are practicing the Stoic virtue of justice, which involves recognizing the value and dignity of others. It's a phrase that encourages open dialogue, fosters mutual respect, and fosters a mindset that views every conversation as an opportunity for growth. Rather than immediately dismissing or challenging a differing viewpoint, saying, "I appreciate your point of view," signals a willingness to listen, learn, and engage with others thoughtfully. The Stoic practice of understanding others' perspectives is essential for cultivating peace and maintaining harmonious relationships. In the Meditations, Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the interconnectedness of all human beings and the importance of accepting the diversity of opinions and experiences. He believed that wisdom comes not only from internal reflection, but from the ability to consider other viewpoints and learn from them. By saying, "I appreciate your point of view," we remind ourselves that our own beliefs are not absolute truths, but are shaped by our personal histories. This phrase serves as a subtle reminder that we are all in a continuous process of learning, and that someone else's perspective can offer valuable insights that we may not have considered on our own. Furthermore, "I appreciate your point of view" helps to cultivate emotional detachment, which is a key principle in Stoicism. In the heat of an argument or disagreement, it is easy to become defensive and to feel compelled to prove that our perspective is the right one. However, the Stoics taught that we must not allow our emotions to dictate our reactions. Instead, we should respond to others with rationality and composure, recognizing that disagreements are inevitable, but how we handle them is within our control. By appreciating another person's viewpoint, we allow ourselves to engage in discussions without becoming overwhelmed by emotion. This phrase helps shift the focus from a battle of egos to a more respectful exchange of ideas, where both parties can learn from one another without the need to win the argument. Moreover, saying, "I appreciate your point of view," fosters an environment of constructive communication. In the Stoic tradition, dialogue and the exchange of ideas were essential for self-improvement and intellectual growth. By appreciating and acknowledging the viewpoints of others, we create a space where mutual respect prevails and people feel heard and valued. This leads to a more productive and positive conversation, where the goal is not to overpower the other person's opinion, but to build on each other's ideas. It is through this exchange that wisdom grows, as we not only solidify our own understanding, but also become aware of perspectives that we may have previously overlooked. The phrase, "I appreciate your point of view," aligns with the Stoic practice of humility. The Stoics believed that we should approach life with the understanding that we do not know everything and that we are constantly learning from others. By appreciating someone else's viewpoint, we show humility by admitting that our own thoughts may not be complete or all-encompassing. It reinforces the idea that we are part of a larger community and that every individual brings unique wisdom and experiences to the table. In this way, the phrase helps us remain grounded and open to growth, both intellectually and emotionally. It is a practice of recognizing that we are all interconnected and that every interaction is an opportunity to broaden our understanding of the world. Number 6. Let's find a solution together. "Let's find a solution together" is a phrase that deeply resonates with Stoic principles of collaboration, mutual respect, and the focus on what can be controlled. In Stoicism, the idea of working with others to resolve challenges is key to living in harmony with the world and fellow human beings. Marcus Aurelius and other Stoic philosophers emphasized the importance of community and collective action, recognizing that we are all part of a larger whole. This phrase exemplifies that spirit of cooperation, inviting the other person to become a partner in problem solving. It acknowledges that while challenges are inevitable, they can often be mitigated or overcome when individuals unite their efforts, working toward a common goal with rationality and calm. The Stoics believed that we should approach life with a sense of shared responsibility, understanding that we are all interconnected. By saying, "Let's find a solution together," we demonstrate a commitment to collaborative efforts rather than pushing an individual agenda. The phrase signifies that the problem at hand is not something to be solved in isolation, but requires collective intelligence and input. It opens the door to a process of joint decision-making, where each person's perspectives, strengths, and ideas are valued. This mindset reflects the Stoic understanding that we are not solitary beings, but social creatures who benefit from the collective wisdom and cooperation of others. Moreover, this phrase embodies the Stoic practice of focusing on what is within our control. In Stoicism, the key to living a virtuous life is recognizing that there are things we can control, our thoughts, our actions, and our responses, and things we cannot control, external events, the actions of others, and the unpredictable nature of life. When faced with a problem, instead of becoming frustrated or focusing on what we cannot control, the Stoics teach that we should calmly assess the situation, determine what we can influence, and work with others to make progress. "Let's find a solution together" emphasizes this Stoic wisdom by centering the conversation on what both parties can contribute to resolve the issue. It encourages a focus on collective action and productive effort rather than frustration or blame. The phrase also reflects the Stoic practice of empathy and emotional resilience. The Stoics advocated for emotional regulation, emphasizing the importance of not letting feelings of anger, fear, or frustration cloud our judgment. By approaching a problem with the mindset of collaboration, we are less likely to be consumed by negative emotions. Instead, we acknowledge that challenges are a natural part of life and invite others to join in working through them with a sense of calm and reason. In doing so, we create an environment where solutions are found based on logic, cooperation, and mutual respect rather than emotional reactions. "Let's find a solution together" encourages personal growth and the development of virtuous qualities such as wisdom, patience, and humility. Stoicism teaches that obstacles are opportunities for growth, and by engaging with others in problem-solving, we not only improve our ability to work with different perspectives, but also enhance our own character. Through collaboration, we learn the value of others' insights and can refine our own understanding. The act of solving a problem with someone else fosters an environment of shared learning where both parties can emerge stronger, wiser, and more resilient. This phrase, in essence, encourages not only finding solutions to external challenges, but also improving ourselves in the process. It reminds us that in the Stoic worldview, every interaction, every challenge, and every opportunity is a chance to practice virtue and contribute to the greater good. Number 7, I respect your decision. I respect your decision is a phrase that reflects a core Stoic principle of acceptance and understanding. In Stoicism, one of the most important virtues is the ability to control our responses to external events, especially when those events involve the actions or decisions of others. The Stoics believed that while we cannot control the choices that others make, we can control how we react to them. By saying, "I respect your decision," we are acknowledging the autonomy of the other person and accepting their right to make their own choices, even if we do not agree with them. This reflects a deep sense of humility and emotional discipline, which are key Stoic virtues. The phrase also aligns with the Stoic concept of focusing on what is within our control and letting go of what is not. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often wrote about the importance of recognizing that we cannot control the actions of others. What we can control, however, is our own thoughts and reactions. When someone makes a decision that affects us or others, we may feel tempted to intervene, criticize, or push for an alternative course of action. However, Stoicism teaches that such reactions are a waste of energy because they are based on things we cannot control. By saying, "I respect your decision," we are embracing the Stoic practice of emotional detachment, acknowledging that the other person has the right to choose their path, and we can choose how we respond. Additionally, "I respect your decision" fosters an environment of mutual respect and understanding. Stoicism emphasizes the interconnectedness of all people, and respect for others' autonomy is essential in maintaining harmonious relationships. When we respect someone's decision, we validate their ability to make choices based on their own reasoning, experiences, and circumstances. Even if we do not fully understand their reasoning or agree with the outcome, respecting their decision reinforces the idea that each individual is their own master. This cultivates an atmosphere of trust and respect, where individuals feel that their perspectives are valued and that their decisions are not subject to undue criticism or judgment. This phrase also encourages a sense of inner peace and tranquility. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is the pursuit of inner peace through the cultivation of rational thought and emotional control. When we resist the temptation to challenge or question someone's decision, we avoid unnecessary conflict and emotional turmoil. Instead, by choosing to respect their decision, we maintain our calm and composure. This practice helps us preserve our emotional equilibrium and avoid being dragged into unnecessary disputes. It reminds us that in the grand scheme of things, other people's choices are not a reflection of our worth or success. They are part of their own journey, and our role is to focus on how we respond with dignity and respect. Finally, saying, "I respect your decision," reflects the Stoic idea of accepting the present moment without resistance. In the Stoic view, life is full of events that are beyond our control, and the key to achieving serenity is to accept these events as they unfold. This acceptance does not mean passivity or resignation, but rather a recognition that the world operates according to its own logic, and we must respond to it in a way that is aligned with our values. When we respect someone else's decision, we practice acceptance of the way things are, without clinging to our own expectations or desires for a different outcome. It is a reminder that the only true control we have is over our own attitudes, and by choosing to respect others' decisions, we reaffirm our commitment to maintaining peace of mind in all circumstances. And there you have it, 7 secret phrases that instantly persuade anyone. By using these simple yet powerful words, you can transform the way you communicate, foster deeper connections, and influence others in ways you never thought possible. Remember, the key is not just what you say, but how you say it. Each of these phrases is rooted in empathy, understanding, and respect, making them tools for building trust and rapport with anyone you encounter. Now that you've learned these persuasive phrases, it's time to put them into practice. Start using them in your conversations and see how they can help you gain more influence, resolve conflicts smoothly, and create lasting impressions. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more communication tips and tricks that will help you become a more persuasive and effective communicator. Drop a comment below telling us which phrase you're most excited to try out. And if you have any other secret persuasion phrases of your own, we'd love to hear them. Thank you for watching, and remember, words are powerful. Use them wisely and watch your influence grow.